Did I break it? Oh my God, I'm just throwing stuff around. My back is hurting. Hey besties! Today we are doing a super simple craft and chat. I have these lightstick keychains that I need to assemble so I can put them in my shop. So I figured I will show you the process of assembling them, kind of chat about a few things while I work, and maybe give a few tips on how to either assemble keychains or do jewelry making. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is show the supplies that I'll be using. I have these rhinestone bubblegum beads, and then I have these bow beads. Each one of these bows are a different color, and they coordinate with one of the light sticks. And then I have this keychain finding. It has a split ring and then a clasp, and that's about 1 inch for the split ring. I have jump rings. I have head pins. These ones have a little ball on them. And then we have these eye pins, which have a little loop on the end, so you can connect things with it. So, oh, and I have pliers. I have just some regular pliers and then a one-step looper. I like to do everything like assembly line. So the first thing I do, I'm going to scoot some of this back. First thing I do is I make the beads and get them ready. So these bubblegum beads are going to connect. They're going to sit right here, and they're going to connect the light stick to the keychain. So I want to use the eye pins. So I'm just going to string it on. And I have found that the best way for me to do it is I want this loop right here to be flat when I don't want it turned like this. I want it laying flat so I can see the hole. So when I put it in my one-step looper, I hold the eye pin, feed it in, and you want to make sure you get it through this little loop right here, and then you just squeeze it and it'll loop it for you. I have found that the loop is kind of big, so I do like to go in with my pliers and close the loop a bit more afterwards. Just so that, I'm gonna put these here, just so that the jump rings don't fall out and it's a bit more secure when it is being used as a keychain. So these light stick keychains, I've needed to restock them for a while now. They just take like so long to make. There's a lot of waiting because they're made of resin, epoxy resin, and the resin I use takes about 48. It cures in 24 hours, but for like a hard cure, so like it doesn't bend, it takes about 48 hours. So I have like a couple days worth of waiting while making them. They really do take about 2 weeks to make for me, each keychain. I can make multiples at once, which is great, but still that's about 2 weeks waiting for each keychain to be made. So that's why they are taking a little while to get back in stock. I try to keep up with them, and I try to check stock when I can, but sometimes it just gets away from you, you know? I love these beads. I think this one is like a 16 millimeter maybe. I'll put the measurement of how big that bead is on the screen. So for these bow beads, I don't like to use the eye pins. I don't like the look of that. So I am going to use these head pins that have a little ball. The hole is kind of big, so this ball keeps it from going and falling. So when I make these, see how that loop is not even closed? That's why I have to go back in with the pliers. These bows can be kind of difficult to get the one-step looper to work with, just because of the sides of the bows, like this part of the bow. Okay, now I'm going to go and I'm going to twist these down. See how that's open? I'm going to twist this. I'm going to take my pliers and just twist. I've had a lot of comments of people asking me to make certain light sticks for certain groups. And groups like Blackpink, Twice, Eyelet, who else? Baby Monster. And I can't. Epoxy resin is a liquid when you first get it. It's not hard like this. It's a liquid that two liquids that you mix together, and then you let it cure over time, and it hardens by a chemical reaction. Because it's a liquid, you have to use a silicone mold to pour it in, so it'll take that shape when it's curing. And I just don't have molds for the groups that people are asking for. I'll put on the screen what groups I have molds for. They're really hard to find, honestly. The person that most of these molds I purchased from is no longer making molds. I've purchased molds from Peachy Molds, Mold Paradise, and Sweet Art Crafts, and two of them no longer have their shops up. Let's go ahead and attach these beads to the light sticks. When you have a jump ring, there's a little split in the center of it. You'll take your pliers and you twist your jump ring. You don't want to pull apart, because when you pull apart, it changes the shape. So like if I twist this back, it's still, see how it's still round? It'll stay round like that. I like to use two jump rings, just because if one jump ring, for some reason, if this gets pulled on or doesn't like hold up for some reason, you have two jump rings that it'll have to, you know, pull apart, versus just one and then it falls apart and you're left with a broken keychain, which I really hope does not happen. But just to be safe, I like to use two of these. So I feed the jump ring through one of the loops on this bead, on the bubble bead, through the loop, and then I feed it through the bail, and I twist it closed. And I do that again. It's a little trickier when you have two, you just feed it through the top and then through the bottom, and you try your best not to get the jump rings twisted together. I like to put on the bead first and then the keychain. I really like to assembly line things. I know in my past videos, I knew that would happen. No! That has gotten me in trouble, but it's just so much quicker. And it's, you know, you can get into the zone and you don't have to focus as much, especially when you've made these like a bunch of times. I'm thinking about getting custom molds made for light sticks. And I'm wondering what boy groups you would want to see light sticks made for. I am planning on getting a BTS version 4 light stick. And I'm planning on getting a Boy Next Door light stick. But I don't know what other groups you would want to see. Let me know in the comments what boy groups you would want to see a light stick for. I know for sure I'm getting Boy Next Door and BTS version 4. But I don't know what else. I do have some light sticks that are available, but I'm just not assembling them today because I don't have any ready to be assembled. But I have Monsta X. I have 2 different ATEEZ versions. I have a 17 version. And then, what else? I think that's about it. hopefully I will be able to get more light sticks. I love making these so much. I think they're really cute. Huh? Oops. Oops. Didn't close that properly. This GOT7 one is the hardest to close just because of the shape of it. Now it's time for the key ring. Look, we're already halfway done. I'm going to put the key ring on the jump ring and then feed the jump ring through this loop. And then that part is done. We'll double the jump rings on these as well. I think it's a little easier to put on the key ring than it is the bead to the light stick, personally. As seen with the GOT7 light stick. Now we just gotta do this for all of these. I do have all the materials I'm using listed in the description. I'm trying to do that from now on, just in case you want to make something similar, or you're not really sure, like you're looking for something and you don't really know, oh, this is called a split ring, you know? So you can find that. I'll try to do it for all my videos from now on. I also have, like, for the light sticks, what I use for them as well, materials used for them. It's not just the keychains. So if you notice, I'm trying to keep all the light sticks from not laying on each other. Resin does scratch, and it does like get little dents in it if you hit it really hard. So I try my best to not, the only thing that overlaps is like the keychains. I don't like them touching. And that is something you need to consider if you're thinking about selling resin pieces. You need to consider packaging. I like to pack my keychains in a plastic bag with a paper backing to kind of keep it from falling and sliding around. I find it keeps it pretty secure when shipping. Which group has your favorite light stick design? I think mine is honestly 17 version 2. I really don't like version 3. I know some people really did like version 3. I just remember when I saw it announced, I saw a lot of negative, but I think they made up for it with the 10th anniversary one. That was really pretty too. Last one, gotta get Astro. I had someone message me about Astro and they were like, hey, you know, do you have it available? And I didn't even realize it wasn't in the listing. I had it as a main photo and then I was like, huh, I wonder why Astro isn't selling. But like I didn't think to look like it just, I don't know. Not my brightest moment, but okay. Now these bows, you can probably guess which groups they go to. This green one goes to GOT7, and I like to do it so that the bow is on one side and then the clasp is on the other. Like that. And I like to have the bow on the right hand side and the clasp on the left hand side, just because it makes it a bit more what would you call it, consistent. So like if you buy multiple light stick keychains from me, even if it's different groups, you know what you're getting, you know. The very next thing I do after this is I grade these. I have looked at these beforehand and they all look pretty good. I don't think I need to polish this one. I get fingerprints on these, and just to get them off you just use like a eyeglass cloth. But yeah, I think these are all good. I've changed how I dome these, how I put like this extra layer of resin. I've changed how I do it, and I've had a lot of success with pieces. So now these just need to be packaged. I'll show you how I pack one of them, just so you can kind of get an idea of what I was talking about with the packaging to protect these. So I'm going to have to cut backing papers because I just don't have enough, but I'll still show you how I package these. So I have, this is just a piece of cardstock. I designed it and it has like my name on it and everything, my shop name. And then I take one of these and I just lay this down so that the keychain and the bow are not overlapping onto the resin. And then I take this bag, I think it's like a 3x5 bag, and I just slip this in there. And then I go and I take these little Avery multi-use dots. And what I do is I write the price on one of these. So when I'm selling at an event, I have it pre-priced. And I don't like to seal these because right away because I do sometimes use them for photos. So I just fold this over, put on the price sticker, and that is how I'm going to store it. When I sell them, like when it sells and I'm shipping it out, I'll take off this sticker, remove the sticky, and seal it. So yeah, that's how I package them. I think I'm at the point where I'm going to have to stop the video just because I have to go and cut more papers and print more papers and all sorts of stuff. But I really hope you all enjoyed this little craft and chat. I hope it gave you some information that maybe you needed as far as crafting. These will be available in my shop by the time this video is posted. Some of them may have sold, but definitely check it out. The link to my Etsy is in this video description and my channel description. I'm also active on Instagram and TikTok, so if you want to see any like behind the scenes or make with me's or anything like that, I have those posted as well. And those links are in the descriptions as well for the video and the channel. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!